Any questions that you have, you can ask. I don't want to dictate the topic, because if you guys know what I'm talking about, I might as well let you ask questions you're wondering about. So to log into Command, it's agent.kw.com. I think everyone on here probably knows that. Yes, Lynette, I got your question. So we'll start with Lynette's question since she emailed it to me already. It says, my question in Command is ads and marketing that's available in the program. Also going through opportunities, I'm using it, but not sure if it's correct. And when doing your percentages to see what you will make from the transaction, how do you enter the team percentage from your commission? Okay, so let's start with opportunities. So the menu is on the left side. If you click on the red KW, it does expand it so you can see what the icons mean until you are familiar with the icons enough to just use them without the words. But so the opportunities is the shaking hands. So opportunities have multiple purposes. The first purpose is a sales pipeline. So the idea is you put every single opportunity in here. The opportunity could be someone who reaches out and says, hey, I want to list my house. Can you come over and do the paperwork? And you're going straight to an active listing. Or it could be someone that you meet at a party and they say, oh, I didn't know you were a real estate agent. We're thinking about selling in a couple of years. Why don't you, like something like that? So that's someone you would put in the cultivate stage. So that is an opportunity for a listing, but it's further away. So to create an opportunity, you push the button that says create opportunity. For all of you, you only belong to one market center, so you'll leave that as Keller Williams Select Realty. If you're on a team, that's where you put that. Then you're going to choose if it's a listing or a buyer opportunity. We do have landlord and tenant options too, but we don't really deal with those here. If you're on a team, the owner is going to be the rainmaker. Then you're going to connect a client to this opportunity. So they have to be in your contacts already, and then you have to start typing their name and it'll pop up. There has been tons and tons and tons of suggestions for them to make it so that if you start typing their name and they're not popping up, to have an option to add contacts straight from here so you don't have to close out of this and go back to contacts. So we're hoping that comes soon. You can put co-seller or co-buyer if that applies. Then you're going to name your opportunity. So it does automatically name it for you, but you can change it. So if this was a listing, then you're going to know the address. You might call it 123 Test Street instead of the client's name. That's up to you. This is also how you get into DocuSign. So the name of the opportunity is also going to be the name of the room in DocuSign. So just keep that in mind when naming it. But I'm just going to name this training February 6th. You can put tags on it. So tags are a way of sorting. So a good example that I can think of is if you ran some sort of marketing campaign. So let's say you did a mass mail out, you printed a bunch of postcards and you sent them to a postal code. And then you got some leads from it. And then maybe someone called you and said, oh, I got your postcard and yeah, we're thinking about listing. Like, can you tell me a bit about the process? Or we're thinking about buying. Can you tell me about that? So you can put them in as an opportunity and you can make a tag called like February 2020 mail out. So that way you can keep track of that marketing campaign that you did and see if it was worthwhile. See if any of these opportunities actually came, like if they actually transacted. Sorry, there's a question here. So now you need to have to put the yeah, Holly, so the contact has to be in contacts first in order to put them in the client here. But we're hoping that will change. So custom tags is optional. You can tag them as like family or maybe referrals. If maybe you have someone who sends you a ton of referrals, so you want to tag all of the opportunities that that person sent you so that you can keep track of how much business you're getting from that person. Then estimated close date. So a lot of times you're not going to know that. So you can leave it blank or you can put something in, it doesn't matter. You can add it in the future if you don't know it. And then listing price. So it says estimated for a reason. If someone says, oh yeah, we're thinking about selling our house in a couple years, we think it's $250. So you can put $250 in there, but maybe when you actually go see it, it's $150 or $200. So that can be changed in the future, but for the sales pipeline purpose, this is important because it's calculating your income. And obviously the listing price will help determine your income. So for the commission rate, normally we're hoping to get 2.5%, but like Lynette asked, how do you enter the team split? So there isn't an option for that, which has also been asked 1,000 times. What I would do is take 2.5% or 2% or whatever the case may be and times it by the percentage that you're getting. So if you're getting 75% from your team, 2.5% times 75% is 1.875%. Does that make sense? You guys are all muted. I can unmute you so I can actually hear you. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But Lynette, that has been suggested a million times to put a team split in here because it does make more sense. So we're hoping it's coming, just not top priority at this moment. So then the next thing is the opportunity phase. So that's like cultivate, appointment, active. So those are the only three you can put when you're creating an opportunity because you're supposed to have it in at least by the time it's active. Then you have under agreement, which means you have an accepted offer on it, and then closed. So these phases help determine the likelihood of you getting paid, which helps determine your potential income in the sales pipeline. Within the phases, there's also stages. So in the cultivate stage, you have watch, nurture, hot. In the appointment stage, are you scheduling the appointment or is it scheduled, or are they interested in an appointment, or are you getting ready for the appointment? And then active, are you staging the house, showing it in negotiations? Legacy, you don't need to worry about. That's importing from Dotloop, which we don't have to worry about here. So does that all make sense?
Yep.
Any questions about that? So if I hit create, it brings me right into the opportunity. So everything that I input here, you can click the pencil and edit anything. So like I said, the estimated listing price, maybe that actually turns out to be 200 when you go to look at it. Oh, and yes, it always says US dollars here. Right now, there's no way to change it to Canadian, but just know in your head that it's Canadian, not US.
So is it calculating Canadian?
No, but just know like it's Canadian dollars, not US dollars.
Okay.
Right? Like there's no, you don't need to worry about the conversion.
Okay.
So you can change anything at any time. So then you can drag the opportunity through the different phases as you go. So if I go back to the home page of opportunities, I don't remember where I put that one. I think I might have put it as active. Yeah. So here it is in my active. So if I'm a really big keener, I can move it from staging to showing to negotiations, but more likely I'm going to move it from active to like an accepted offer, which they call under contract. Okay, so now that's in my under contract section. And you can edit these stages like escrow, inspections, appraisal. You can edit all of that so that it applies more to you. And then you'll see these percentages at the top. So now that I've said I have an accepted offer on it, it's saying I have a 90% chance of getting paid on this. So here's my commission from this deal based on the listing price and the commission rate that I put in. So it's saying I have 90% chance of getting this money. And then obviously if we moved it to closed, we have 100% chance of getting the money. So when you're on the opportunities homepage, in the listing section, you'll see over here potential income and probable income. So potential is if everything I have in here closes, that's how much I can make. But probable is based on those percentages. So like that one said I had a 90% chance of getting paid. So the more you move, so I have 6 in Cultivate right now. If I move those through here more, this number is going to keep going up.
All right.
Because I have more of a likelihood of getting paid. So it's the exact same thing for buyers. And then down here, it gives you like a little graph of and your totals for both of them combined. Any more questions about opportunities while we're here?
Nope, good with me.
Okay, so Lynette's other question was about marketing that's available in the program. So this button here is designs. If I open this up, it's called designs. So it's very similar to Canva if anyone uses Canva. So if I click this plus sign to create a new piece, I can choose what type of material I'm trying to make. So if I'm trying to make a flyer that I want to print, I can choose print. If I'm making something that I want to post on social media, I'm going to choose social. Or if it's something I want to email out, I can choose email, or you can upload something yourself. So let's go to social and click next. So then over on the left, I'm going to choose what I'm trying to market. So an announcement or client love, which would be like home anniversary or 5 years, whatever. Client testimonial. So if you have a testimonial you want to post on your Facebook or whatever. Just listed, just sold, all this stuff is over here. So you choose which one you're looking for and it gives you templates for it. Then once you choose what you're trying to do, along the top here, you can choose what platform you're trying to post it on. So Instagram is the square size that you need for Instagram. Facebook is this rectangle. Instagram story is the size of a phone. One little tip for you is if you're making it and you want to post it on several social media platforms, choose Instagram, because if you're not going to make one specific for each platform, Facebook will take any size. Instagram will only take a square. So if you make a post this shape and you try to post it on Instagram, it's going to cut off the ends and make it a square. So if you're going to only make it once and post it on several platforms, choose Instagram because Facebook's more adaptable. So let's say we want this one. Just click use. Now, listings are supposed to pull into this program so that you can just choose the photos from it, but they're not all there right now.
That's what was going to be my next question.
Yeah. So it is a known thing. They know.
So do you put the MLS number in there? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can. So if you click on KWLS, you're supposed to be able to search from here. So you can either type the address or the MLS number.
Can you try one?
But sure. Do you have an MLS number?
Yeah, sorry. Can we do address?
Yeah.
Okay, do 96 Morris Mill Road. Moyers Mill, yeah, right.
So it searches all of, is that Bedford?
Yeah. Guess not.
Yeah.
Do we have to put Canada in there maybe?
Well, they're not all pulling, so chances are it probably hasn't pulled.
Oh.
Yeah, probably
So
hasn't.
how would you get it in there otherwise?
So otherwise, you can go to images and add, and you can upload, find your listing photo wherever you have it on your computer and upload it.
Oh, so the photos that we sent in to
The Jess, yeah.
oh, okay.
Right, so let's pretend that, let's just use this picture. So if I click on the picture I want to replace, so I'm clicking on this house in the design, then I hover over this vacant land picture that I'm using. I can click add image. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong button. Don't click add image. Use as a background. All right, making a liar of me. Okay, so pretend that is a house. I know it's not a very good example. So then obviously you're gonna put in the street, like the address.
Right.
You're not gonna leave this. You can change the font. You can change the color. You can do all of that. Okay, because depending on the picture, the white might not look good here. You can make sure you put our logo there. I think, logos, here we go. So I can swap that one in. Oh, that looks terrible. I'm really good at showing you guys this, huh? Anyway, we would upload a better logo.
And
so
do we have to have our name and all that stuff on there?
No.
Okay, good.
You do have to, when you post it on social media, you have to say what month it sold. So you'd have to say like February 2020.
Oh, okay, right.
So you can put that on the image, or you can put that in like the what you type on Facebook or Instagram. So you can add different text over here. Like if you wanted to add more, you can. You can just say add and choose one of these and type whatever you want. So that's kind of designs, not a great example, but so then the other part of marketing, we go back into command. So this button here is campaigns. So there's different types. So you can do paid campaigns through here. So that's like, you know, when you're on Facebook or Instagram and you see the sponsored posts,
right?
You can make those in here. So you have to link your Facebook in your settings, which most of you have probably done by now because we drilled that into your head. So you can make the sponsored posts in here, or you can, there is a direct mail function. Don't use it yet. KW Canada's testing it out for us before anyone should spend money on it to make sure it goes to the right places, because it's a different company doing it in Canada than the States. But so you will be able to make like design postcards in here and then choose where to send it. Instead of going through Canada Post, you'll be able to do it through here. And then social posts, you can schedule things like Hootsuite in here. So if we just did a post, not a paid ad, you can make it in here. type whatever you want, upload whatever photo you want. So maybe that was a design that you made in Designs, or maybe you just want to post something else that you want to upload. And then you choose when you want it to post. So this stuff's free. That's not the paid ad. And then you're just going to choose your page that you want it posted on down here, which once your Facebook is linked, it'll be here.
Can you link your personal and business page?
No.
Or just, oh, really?
It's just for business pages.
Okay, all right.
Does that answer that, Lynette?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. So I have another question here. Can you upload contacts from Gmail or from a PDF? PDF, no. Gmail, not yet, I'm hoping. But you can import a CSV file, which is like an Excel file. So when you click on the contacts button, then you click this import button. You see download here. When you click on download, it will download a blank CSV file, which you can put your contacts into. So you got your first name column, your last name column, mobile phone, home phone, work phone, email, address, all that kind of stuff. So if you can export from your Gmail, you can then like copy the first name column and paste it into here, copy all of the last names and paste it into here, etc., and then import this into your contacts. So you would just upload it here once it's saved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So you can, in your settings, integrate Gmail. So again, that's something that's been suggested 1,000 times, to please make it so that we can import our Gmail contacts easily. But right now you can't. But you can export from Gmail and put it into that CSV file. Can I just make my Excel sheet I have into a CSV file? No, you have to use that CSV file because it has the right columns. So like the fields match properly. Speaking of contacts, I just want to point this out because it's something a lot might not know. So if you go into your settings, okay, and then command settings, and then contacts, you can create custom fields. So when you're inputting a contact, if there's a piece of information that you want to put in there and it's coming up all the time, like maybe it's kids' names, you want to remember their kids' names, so when you're talking to them, you can bring it up so you sound like you remembered. You can create custom fields that aren't in there. Maybe it's pets' names, I don't know. Kids' names, I think, is the best example, but if there's a piece of information you're always wanting to include when you're inputting a contact and it's not there, you can add it yourself.
Can you do that? Show us how?
Yeah. So create new custom field, field name, so kids' names, and then what type do you want to be able to, is it text field or text area? Text area is just bigger. Drop down, so drop down would be like if there was options like yes or no. I don't know any other examples. A date, so if you are inputting, maybe you want to input like the date that you guys met, then you could say it's a date field. A checkbox, if you want to say like, was this a referral? You can check yes or no, essentially. If you, a URL, so if you want to keep track of their websites, you can put the URL in there. Yeah. So for kids' names, you would just choose text field because you're just entering a small amount of text. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And this is when you're adding contacts, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if when you're adding them, you're always like, oh, like, because there is a notes section. So if like the first couple, you're like, oh, I'll just stick it into notes. But then you're like, every contact, you're like, I want to put this in there. You can create that field.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? You guys are quiet.
Anything that you get asked a lot that maybe we're not thinking about that you could go?
I'll point out, I meant to point this out when we were in opportunities. So in the opportunities, remember when I made that one and I said, oh crap, where did I put that? Did I put an active or cultivate? I couldn't remember.
Right. Mhm.
There is a button up here that's all opportunities, and it shows it to you more in a list.
And then if you put it in the wrong spot, you could move it.
Yeah, just so it's
Okay.
easier to find. And you can type here to search. I don't know why the box is so little. It's obviously like a glitch that they've got going on here. But you can search. So if you have a ton in here and you can't find it, I find it easier to find in the all opportunities button. In contacts, if you go into a contact, let's go into Alex. On the right, so on the left is kind of all of the information that you input. On the right is kind of a summary of what's going on with this contact. So it defaults to be on the timeline. So that's if you're using the neighborhoods, although don't use the neighborhoods right now because most of the listings are missing. Or like phone calls or tasks or anything that you put in. So timeline of what's going on between you and this contact. There's also, you can look at all the opportunities that they are assigned to. So obviously I use Alex a lot when I'm training people. So he has 10 opportunities assigned to him. So that's also an easier way to find the opportunity. So if you know it's John Smith's opportunity, you can come into John Smith's contact and find his opportunities here. Any smart plans that he's put on, so those are like those automated emails. They were called campaigns in eEdge. If he's on any of those, they're here. Any tasks that I have associated to him. And then there's a notes section, so any notes that I put in. So a lot of people miss this part of the contacts because they just input them and then don't really come back into the contact. How do you add a birthday smart plan? I set it up, but it wasn't working. All right, so smart plans is this button. So we're gonna go into the library of the smart plans that they've created for us. And here's the birthday one. So we're gonna click add smart plan. So you can name it whatever you want. So apply. So now that's into my smart plans. So over here, I have to turn it to active, but I can't because I haven't assigned any contacts to it. See, there's no contacts. So I can click here to add contacts. So I can search.
Oh, where did you go to do that? Sorry, I blinked.
The
oh, add
little
contact.
person with the plus. Okay. So I can add Alex to the plan, or if you're using your tags, you can search by a tag. So maybe you did some sort of event and you somehow managed to get everyone's birthday. Bad example, but and you inputted all those contacts into your database and you tagged them like first time homebuyer seminar or whatever. You can then click tags and choose your first time homebuyer seminar and it will add all of those people with that tag.
Mm-hmm.
So I can add him to the smart plan. So it includes text messages. So it's saying up here, if you have a Twilio account set up, which I don't suggest because it's not really working right now and it will end up costing you money. So they'll be sent from your Twilio number. So you can just say confirm.
So what exactly is a Twilio number, and do we even ever have to worry about it because we're not getting it anyway?
You will have to worry about it in the future, but once it's ironed out a little more. So Twilio is for like mass texting.
Oh, okay.
And I still can't activate this, and I don't know why. Showing me the steps here. But why can't I turn it active? I'll have to look into why I can't activate that, because I should be able to now that I have a contact. Oh wait, does Alex have a birthday in his contact? Oh yeah, he does. I don't know why I can't activate that. I'll have to look into that and let you know.
Okay.
Any other questions? Opportunities. Can you add tradespeople / professionals attached to the deal, i.e. lawyer? For what purpose? You can add them in DocuSign so that you can easily send them paperwork. Is that what you mean? For quick reference as to who's attached to the deal. Not that I know of, but there is a note section. So you could kind of just have like a note template and fill it in. I don't think you can. No, I don't see anywhere to do that. But yeah, I would just put it in the notes. You can, in DocuSign, you can add them all in the People tab, so you don't have to be typing in their email address every time you want to send them something.
It's easier.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
Okay, well, if there's no more questions, then we'll call it a day. I am doing this again in person at the end of the month. I forget what day. Very close to the end, though. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not working.
Site down for unexpected maintenance. Woo-hoo.
Replays down.
Thank you, Aaron.
No problem. Yeah, so I am doing this again at the end of the month in person, which if you guys like learning in person more.
Okay, thanks, Aaron.
No problem.
Thanks, Aaron.
No problem. I was gonna